gotta find you. Hold on. Are you introducing her?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because I have you here going through this stuff, and then go through here, and then go back to me.
Yeah.
So you do that here then, and I'll wait. Okay.
Yeah.
If she comes, you said she's notoriously late.
She is. Her mom's here, so I kind of
Oh.
thought she would be.
Well, she should be. I guess we'll find out.
Make it happen.
Folks, if you could take your seats and please silence your cell phones, we'll get ready to start. Well, good evening and welcome to the 2022 Alumni Banquet. I'm Derek Chappell. I'm a 1987 graduate of Ottawa University. Thank you. Celebrating our 35th reunion this weekend. I told Bill a while ago that I feel official and old at the same time because every time I get this script every year, I look for the years and my God, I'm on it this year. Oh, good Lord. It is truly an honor, though, to be here with you tonight as we celebrate these members of our OU Braves family, and we're honored to be hosting this event. If this is your first alumni banquet, welcome. We hope it's the first of many. If you're returning, it's always good to see familiar faces, so we're glad you're here tonight. Before we have dinner and we begin our evening, we'd like to recognize some special guests here in the audience with us tonight. So if these folks would please stand as your name is called and be recognized. University Chancellor Dr. Bill Tsutsui and his wife, Dr. Marjorie Swan, here in front. OUKS President Dr. Reggie Zwinicka is here. And if we could have any current, past, or life trustees that are here tonight to please stand and be recognized. There we go. Fantastic. And Courtney, did Kate make it in the room yet? Okay, well, she'll be here in a minute. Our Alumni Association President, Kate Wilcox, will be here a little bit later. And of course, we'll be recognizing many more people as the evening goes on. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our Chancellor, Dr. William Tsutsui, to the stage. Bill, if you would come on up while I read this information. Dr. Tsutsui joined Ottawa University in 2021 with a distinguished career as an award-winning historian, passionate classroom teacher, and seasoned academic leader with a record of innovation. In his first year, Bill led a broadly based and inclusive strategic planning effort, spearheaded an initiative to build endowed scholarships funds for students in need, and stewarded the creation of the institution's first doctoral degree and new master's in applied psychology. To encourage engagement and collaboration across the university, Bill established new forums for communications and community input, stressed transparency in decision-making, and sought to build a university-wide problem-solving culture. Please welcome the Chancellor of Ottawa University, Dr. Bill Tsutsui.
Thanks so much, Jared. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome back to campus. It is an honor and a pleasure to join you for my second OU homecoming weekend and my second alumni banquet. It is a thrill this time of year as students, faculty, and staff power through those long weeks between midterms and the end of the semester, to see the flags go up around the horseshoe, to hear the nostalgic voices of alums on the pathways and in the hallways, and to share some celebratory annual events like this one. I'm so happy to be part of the festivities, and I'm glad you all are too. Now, it's a particular joy this evening to have the opportunity to recognize so many folks who have left such a mark on Ottawa University and are now making their marks on the larger world. The three recipients of Alumni Association Awards are truly exceptional individuals who have done so much, given so much of themselves, and meant so much to so many. Our 50-year reunion class was legendary on this campus, and they have distinguished themselves through their professional accomplishments, their personal qualities, their leadership in communities and churches and countless other organizations, and their long commitment to OU. And needless to say, it is wonderful that we can remember and provide special recognition to Dr. Mercille Lee, who left such a huge legacy here at Ottawa University. And I'm just so glad we can gather together to celebrate and thank all of you this evening. Now, the program says I'll be giving you a university update in my short comments. But rather than me talking more, because I'm pretty much doing nothing but talking at people this weekend, let me encourage you to look around yourselves when you're on campus. Look at all the students we have. There are so many, in fact, that we are nearly back at our record enrollment in the late 1960s. All of our dorms are full, all of our off-campus housing is full, and most of the hotels in this town are stuffed with OU undergrads. Look at that temporary parking lot we added out in front of Martin Hall to accommodate all the students, and now we can't imagine living without. Look at the vitality apparent everywhere on this campus, from the art studios and Frederickson Chapel to the halls of the administration building and the labs in Ward Science, to the playing fields that will be roaring tomorrow afternoon. Look at the new facilities made possible by generous and far-sighted supporters. The fabulous Creed Family Greenhouse, which provided the centerpieces on our tables this evening, and the state-of-the-art Braves Athletic Performance Center. And with a new strategic plan developed collaboratively by the community last year and approved by the board, further positive changes are on the horizon. New degree options, better facilities, enhanced programs to support our students on their ways to lifetimes of personal significance, vocational fulfillment, and service to God and humanity. Ottawa University, I am really happy to tell you, is riding a wave of unprecedented growth. It's bucking all the trends in American higher education today, and there's a real sense of momentum. Here in Kansas, at the campus in Surprise, and through our adult and online programs. So when you head home after this homecoming weekend, I hope you'll feel a lot of pride in your alma mater, and I hope you'll be suitably prepared to tell your friends and relatives, and especially any 18-year-olds you happen to know, about all the great things happening at Ottawa University. Now, I could go on, but before I shut up and let us get started with dinner, just a couple words of thanks. First of all, thanks to President Wanyika, who has done absolutely stellar things here at this campus and in this community, who leads with vision and creativity and heart and a deep commitment to the mission of Ottawa University. To all the people who have worked so hard to make tonight possible, thank you, members of the Alumni Board. Thank you to the folks who've stepped up to honor the pioneering contributions of Dr. Lee. Thank you, Courtney Dunn, Janet Peters, and the great team in advancement. All the folks in facilities and the college and marketing and IT and athletics and ADC who went above and beyond to make this occasion special. And thanks again to all of you, the alums and honorees we are celebrating this evening, for being here, for the lives of significance you have led, and for your deep commitment to Ottawa University. Have a fantastic weekend. And now it is my real pleasure to introduce someone who needs no introduction in this audience, the president of Ottawa University campus. Dr. Reg, the podium is yours.
Well, good evening and welcome back to your campus. I'm so grateful to see so many of you, and some of you, it's the first time we are meeting, and they call me Dr. Reg. This is my 5th year here, and most of you can tell from my accent that I am from the deep, deep south of Texas. Like 12 days worth of south travel from Texas. But anyway, I've had the pleasure of living in this country 22 years, and I'm going to make this comment. And I've worked on several college campuses. My first higher ed job was in 1994, but I'm going to tell you this. It's one of the best places I've ever been. And it's one of the most welcoming and most inclusive and just a great all-around experience, place, city, and university that I have ever had the pleasure of being part of. And I think the credit goes to some of you who've paved the way and have left us a great institution and continue to help us build an even greater institution for generations to come. So please accept my sincere thanks and my deepest gratitude for all the work that you've done. They say when you see a turtle sitting on top of a fence, you know he didn't get there by himself. And I sometimes feel like, that's all we are. People come on this campus, they get to celebrate us, but we know how we got here. It's because of everything that you've been doing over the years, the word of mouth testimonials about how great this place and just how you continue to support us. And I speak on behalf of the alumni department and advancement. And I am that guy who's not ashamed to say, keep them checks coming. And please, and I was talking to Ray earlier today, Dr. Ray Schmidt, and he's a great guy. I thought, I wonder if people actually know how to spell million, that it's M-I-L-L-I-O-N. I don't know, that's just for someone out there. I'm just kidding. But hey, it's so fun. Have a great time tonight and over the weekend and tomorrow. Just walk around if you have questions. We have the fraternity boys who are here, and if you guys just come and stand by the door real quick, call the frat boys. Come on, buddy, Mr. Spells. Sorry, Brother Spells, and Brother Chapman. these wonderful young men from our fraternity here on campus. Even those two guys that are, trying to overthrow Fabio as the best male models ever. But just so thankful, and again, we're just trying to continue some of the things we knew you all did so many years ago. So we're resurrecting certain traditions, and these wonderful young men are here to serve you tonight. And I will tell you this, and I don't know if they want me to say this, but they are serving and working and doing jobs because right now they're involved in a fundraising effort to bring running water to a school in Harare, Zimbabwe, and a solar-powered running water to a school that has thousands and thousands of kids who don't have any running water. So I just want to tell you, as you go tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, just remember these young men. This is the sort of thing that's happening on your campus. So thank you, brothers, and let's keep the faith. Thank you. And I don't see the sisters of the sorority tonight, but if you see a group of young women wearing pink blazers, they are the sisters of the sorority, and they're also doing their thing. So please, as they come around the table and serve you, just get to meet them and feel free to ask them what it is they do. But I'm just so impressed and so thankful. It's what makes this job so much fun. So thank you, everybody, and welcome, and let's have fun this weekend. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Bill and Dr. Reg. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Reg about 5 years ago in this room, his first greeting to the community. And I met Dr. Bill about a year ago at Granger House at a meet and greet, and I knew within 5 minutes of meeting both of these individuals that my alma mater was in great hands. And kudos to both of you for what you've done, and we are in great hands because of these two. So thank you both very much. So at this time, I'd like to invite John Holzhutter up here. He's University Chaplain, Director of the Frederickson Center for Faith and Church Vitality. And it's time to recognize our brave braves and give our invocation. John?
Great things happen when God mixes with us. The Braves statement reads, the Ottawa University Alumni Association invites you to join in observing a moment of silence, both in memory and in acknowledgement of our brave braves, those Ottawa University students, alumni, and friends who have offered their military service to our country. And so for those who choose to participate, let us now take this opportunity to pause in the spirit of honor and appreciation for all our braves, and please stand if you're able. We take a moment of silence then, as we honor our braves, and other alumni and friends who've died over the last years. They're listed in the program. We think of their memories and we treasure them. And now our prayer. Good and gracious God, we are grateful for friends, for those in this room and those who are absent in this space, but firmly anchored in our hearts. We are thankful for those whose efforts made this evening possible. We invite your Holy Spirit to fuel and bolster us on this joyous occasion. Sanctify this space, bless our meal, burnish our friendships, guide our paths, and strengthen our lives in these shared times this evening and all future chapters to come. And the people say, Amen. Please be seated. Thank you.
And with that, it's time to eat. Our meal is being served buffet style this evening, so if you will remain seated, and you're going to be dismissed by table, so please enjoy your meal in the fellowship. After we eat, we'll continue with our program. Thank you. If you are still finishing your meal, please do so. Don't let us stop you. If you want coffee for the rest of the evening, feel free. There's some over here to my left. We'll get started here again in just a couple minutes. Okay. We're going to go ahead and proceed with our evening. Again, please finish if you're not done yet. I was asked at a table here a second ago why I don't eat when I MC these events, and it's because of an experience I had a couple years ago where I did eat, and I ate the whole thing. And I actually put myself to sleep speaking later in the evening, so that's why I don't do it anymore. I did have dessert, though. I mean, I didn't want to be rude, so at least I did that. Again, how about a hand for American Dining Creations for the meal tonight and all our help. Thank you. So we have a tradition each year at Homecoming. We celebrate our 50-year class. So this time I'd like to introduce Carla Tallarico to welcome the class of 72 back to campus. Carla.
Well, welcome everybody. It's nice to see so many familiar faces. I especially want to thank our group from 1972, all of our graduates who came to celebrate this. It's so nice to have everybody here together and to see the faces and hear the stories of where we all ended up, and from wearing beanies and living in dorms where we had social clubs, and everything was so different back then. But the campus looks beautiful and we are thrilled to be here. And I just want to welcome you all and thank you very much for joining us here. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla, and again, welcome to the class of 72 as well. At this time, there you are. You snuck up behind me. Please welcome Courtney Dunn.
Good evening, everybody. So I get up here and do this every year, but I would like to give another round of applause to the class of 1972. Their class will be announcing their class gift tomorrow. They have created a scholarship in honor of Frank Lemp. So they'll be presenting their big check at the football game tomorrow. So hope you guys are all there to cheer on the Braves and see them. We are also celebrating tomorrow the 50th anniversary of the Mineral Water Bowl Championship. So we'll have some people from that team back as well. Thank you all for coming. I always appreciate that people come back for homecoming, respond to my letters, respond to our registration pieces. It's wonderful to have you back. So appreciative of all that you guys do for the university, how generous you are with your time and your money too. we do appreciate that as well. So I think we do obviously have a few other classes here celebrating. Do we have anybody from the class of 1962? Well, one is all it takes. What about class of 82? 77? Anyone? Derek, you might be our only 87. Yeah, are you it? Oh, I said 77 first. All right, so, and then obviously we have a couple Golden Club tables here, which is anybody who's more than 50 years out. So obviously we are grateful that they keep coming back and hanging out with us every year. So we'll give them a round of applause as well. I would like for all of you to notice that on each of your tables, we do have descriptions of our alumni awards and nomination forms. We would love for you to tell us about people that you think are deserving of those awards. The alumni board votes on those, and we would love to have some more people to pick from. So please check those out, send those back into my office. I would really appreciate it. So once again, thanks for coming back. We're gonna do this again next year, the weekend of October 21st. And I think that's all I've got for you. So now I'm going to introduce our alumni board president, a good friend of mine as well. This is Kate Wilcox.
Hello. I love you. So driving back down here, I'm in Nebraska now, and driving back down here this weekend, I was talking with my mother, who's also alum, and we were just talking about how it's funny that even many, many years after graduation, we still get excited pulling into Ottawa. I still get excited seeing the buildings and the signs and you think about, oh, hey, so-and-so lived there, and that's so-and-so's apartment, and that was where we, fill in the story. Courtney, do not fill in stories. My mother's here, and my aunt, and uncle, and aunt, and uncle, and friends. But, so I am currently the alumni board president. We go through many in the last, we go through 2-year terms, and then a new one comes in, and so we rotate a lot. But I have been very excited and enjoyed being the alumni board president for the last year and a half. So I think this is one of my favorite parts, is just coming back and talking to other people who love this place as much as I do and just really want to see it thrive and want to get to know the students who are here currently and how can we help them and what can we do and, what can we do to make sure that Ottawa maintains what we love but also changes and grows with the times for what people need now. And so I would really love to invite you to join our group. We meet 4 times a year. Sometimes they're here on campus, and other times we just meet via Zoom because it's sometimes hard to get down here 4 times a year if you don't live in Kansas anymore. So we always have the Zoom option, even for the times that we do meet in person. But it's been, I think I've been on the board now for 8 years. I stole it from my Uncle Alan. He retired off of the board, and I said, I want it, and so I came in and took it. But like she said, there's papers on the desk or on the tables that'll tell you all about our voting and nominating people that you went to school with, that you think have done special and memorable things, and that we would like to recognize them for, as we are going to recognize our awardees. Is that right? Awardees? Whatever. I'm a teacher. Don't ask me questions like that. But thank you all for coming. It is very exciting to be here and be with all of you. Please have fun and remind all these young kids why we come back every year. So.
Thank you, Kate. We do have some other alumni board members here tonight. If you guys would stand and be recognized, please. Fantastic. And then, so if you are interested in the board, talk to any of these folks tonight, and be happy to talk to you about what the alumni board is all about. And I also want to do with this, before we go any further, I'd like to acknowledge Courtney for the effort she puts in, and the alumni office, and everybody in the office, and Janet, and everybody involved. It's a great team of people to work with. You'll find them on their program there. So how about a big hand before we get away tonight and forget to do that? I want to do it tonight. So thank you guys for all you do for the alumni board and the advancement. So each year at this banquet, we honor alumni who've made contributions to their world and the world at large. Each of our awards has a different purpose and intent, but all are designed to acknowledge the lives of outstanding significance that an Ottawa University alum or friend has led. So I'd like each of you to take some time to consider who you might nominate for a particular award. Alumni are the resource for these honorees, so please make the alumni office aware of people who you'd like to see recognized for their life's achievements and service. With that, we'll begin our 2022 Alumni Award recipient celebration. You've probably looked at your program, but you can find more extensive information and explanation about the criteria for each award and the biographies for those who are being recognized tonight. I'm going to ask each honoree to remain seated until your citation has been read, then you can make your way to the stage, receive your award, and if you would share a few words with us at that time. So we begin with the Distinguished Service Award. It's designed to recognize outstanding personal and professional contributions to society through service in the church and or the community over a span of time. Award recipients will be individuals or couples who have demonstrated professional competence and accomplishment and abiding loyalty to Ottawa University. Nominees may be an alum or a friend of the university. Tonight, we are honoring Mr. Jeffrey Souther. Jeff, your citation reads as follows. For earning your degree at Ottawa University, for your work in 11 different roles with the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services, including psychiatric social worker, assistant director of the Division of Behavioral Health, director of the Office of Medical Management Information Systems, and interim director of the Bureau of Behavioral Health, for your service as Chief Operations Officer at New Hampshire Hospital, for your leadership as Executive Director of Mental Health Services of Southeast Connecticut, and as Executive Director of the Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center, for your contributions toward local and regional entities including New England IAP SRS and the Kansas Mental Health Consortium, UNH Center for Educational Field Services, as President for the New Hampshire School Boards Association, and as Board President for the North New England Employment Services, for your service as a Rotarian for 25 years, and for your service as a veteran in the United States Army. It is for these and other notable accomplishments that the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 28th day of October 2022 proudly award you, Jeffrey Souther, with the 2022 Distinguished Service Award. Congratulations.
know, it's interesting. I stood up here a year ago for the 50th celebration of our class 1970, a year late. So I'm back up here again. It really is a bit embarrassing to be here, honestly. I know the accomplishments of my classmates and other alum from this university. I know they are extraordinary in many fields of service, and this university really helped us get to the point where we wanted to provide for our services, for our communities. I think of all the years sitting in required chapel on Wednesday. I don't know if you still do that. Required assembly on Friday, and maybe some of those values rubbed off on me. Certainly the life of significance, which is part of our mission now, is something that has been a large part of my life. I really want to welcome tonight, my wife is here. I met her some 50 years ago, married 48 years, and without her, I would not have been able to do half of what I've been able to accomplish. My son Greg came up from Florida, and I have my classmates from the class of 70 here. Maybe about 5 years ago, I got a phone call from Nori Hale, and she said, "Jeff, I want to nominate you for the Distinguished Service Award." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Well, why?" Well, she had read an article that I had posted on Facebook. It was a link, actually, to an article in the Concord, New Hampshire, Concord Monitor, about a project that I had helped lead while I was Chief Operating Officer at the state hospital, where we recognized that we had, over 150 years, buried folks that families didn't want. And the cemeteries were in disrepair. So myself with our chaplain said, "Why don't we put together a group and do something about this?" Nori was so impressed. She said, "I think that this is the type of thing that we should recognize with the Alumni Association." Nothing happened. 5 years. I figured, I knew this was more than what I really should be getting. She called me early this summer. I think it was after the golf tournament. No, it was before the golf tournament. You called and let me know that this was going to be happening. As I've thought about this evening, there are a few folks in my life that have really led me to where I am today. Not the least my parents, who adopted me out of an orphanage at the age of 5, gave me a life. A high school football coach who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And he introduced me to a guy named Dick Peters. Some may remember. Dick came out to see me and said, "I want you to come to Ottawa University. I think that you're going to be a good football player." I said, "Where is Ottawa University?" This is living just outside of Boston, mind you. Dick had a really important influence on my life. He provided me the opportunity with the first job I had in mental health as a recreational aide at the Osawatomie State Hospital. Rich Harlan and I worked over there as lifeguards for 2 or 3 years. Bill Bocek, both as a coach and maybe even more importantly as the dean of students, kicking me in the behind saying, "You can do this. You know, this is an academic institution. It's not all about football," and other things that we were involved in. And probably the last would be Reverend McCrossan, who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I know that one of the important values that I bring from here is integrity. And he really helps sort of point that out as an important aspect of what we do. Probably the last one I would point out is a fellow named Major Dennis Milkey. I was in the Army working as a psychiatric social work technician, and he said, "You need to go to graduate school. This is a field that you're going to be good on." I said, "I just want to get out of the Army. I just want to go back to the world and do something." But I did go to grad school. I sort of fell into the career. And when I read that bio, I said, "This guy can't keep a job." And I did change jobs rather regularly and frequently, and my wife put up with that. And I moved to Kansas, I moved to Connecticut, back to New Hampshire, where we've spent the majority of our life. I think there are three things that come to me in terms of service that we do. One is that significance that we learn here. Another is, as a Rotarian of 25 years, one of our values is service above self. And the last, I would say, we were with our son down in Key West last April, and we were riding around the back of a golf cart and went past Methodist Church, and it had a sign out front, and it resonated with me. And I'll leave us with this. It said, "Work for a cause, not for applause." Thank you very much.
I'm going to go off script for just a second. Jeffrey was talking about those names, Peters and Bocek and McCrossin. And you know, 50 years from now, we're not at this banquet anymore, but the students that are here now they're going to say things like Winika and Tsutsui and Holstetter and Peters and Lee, and that's going to be awesome. I'm just going to put that out there now because I'm not going to be here to see it, but it's going to be awesome when it happens. So Donald will still be here. So that's true. Can you vouch for that we said the good things about him? Okay. The Outstanding Achievement Award was established to recognize those Ottawa University graduates who've gone beyond their OU experience to achieve a significant level of responsibility and recognition. It may be based on accomplishments in the context of their paid career or for civic or personal interests they've pursued, which have had an impact on the world, nation, state, or community. Nominees will have demonstrated a strong sense of ethics, consistent with the values of a Christian education, and will be admired for both their accomplishments and their personal values. This evening, we honor Mr. Kevin Honeycutt for his achievements. Unfortunately, Kevin's schedule did not allow him to join us in person tonight, but I will read his citation, and then we have a video message that Kevin has sent for us. Kevin's citation reads as follows: "For earning your degree at Ottawa University, for becoming the first high school and college graduate in your family, for your service in education in K-12 art, through summer art camps and through writing and directing high school plays for 13 years, for your nomination as a Sallie Mae Master Teacher and Kansas Master Teacher, for winning the Make It Happen Award and being published in multiple art education journals, for your work as a keynote speaker for 17 years, detailing, developing, and delivering multiple research-based programs in the areas of project-based learning, trauma and poverty-informed instruction, SEL, STEM and STEAM education, and digital legacy, for launching your podcast called Driving Questions in Education and being the #1 K-12 podcast for multiple years, and for being recognized as an Apple Distinguished Educator and TED presenter. It's for these and other notable accomplishments that the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 28th day of October 2022 proudly award Kevin Honeycutt with the 2022 Outstanding Achievement Award. Please watch the video. I went to school with Kevin, and I know that if he were here right now waiting for this video to start, he would be ad-libbing and you would be laughing like you wouldn't believe, wouldn't he? He would be entertaining you way more than I can. So let's just keep waiting for the video, okay? Okay, all right. Yes.
Can I say something?
Alan, please do. You know Kevin quite well. Yeah, Alan Cunningham.
Kevin Honeycutt. I was a music teacher at Pomona, Kansas, and Kevin Honeycutt moved into our school. He was a sophomore in high school. His father passed away that summer, drowned in Pomona Lake. This boy did not have anything. He came to my classroom. Like you said, he would entertain you to death. But he knew I loved to write songs, so he started writing songs. And he would sneak over to my room, and he would share them with me at a time he wasn't supposed to, but we didn't tell anybody. And after a while, I asked him, would you want to perform them at our concerts? And he said yes. And so he did. I was honored when he decided to become a student at Ouaa University. He knew that's where I came, and he came here. If you knew Kevin on campus, he was creative. He did drama. He was so involved in the university with his drama. And he actually wrote his own plays. And then he went and became an art teacher in Inman, Kansas. First in Ottawa for a year, but Inman. And I'll be honest, he was like a son to me, and he treated me like a father. He would call me and tell me about his life. But I loved it. As a teacher, he was creative. He had students create movies, and I got to write a song for one of his movies, and he presented it in Hutchinson, Kansas, like we were in Hollywood. But the amazing thing is after he decided not to be a teacher, he started speaking, public speaking, and motivating teachers. And he would tell his life story about how hard it was for him, but he inspired teachers to realize not every student sitting in front of them has it as easy as every other student. And we as educators, needed to know the whole person. And he would call me up late at night, and he would give me a hard time. He says, you're writing songs. You should be making money doing this. But he talked about how he started doing this for like $600 a gig, $1,000 a gig, $3,000 a gig, $6,000 a gig. Kevin has made a beautiful life for himself. Why? Because he was a hard worker. He is a very creative man. He entertains amazingly. And guess what? He was part of this university that taught him the love of being a part of a body. And so he's gonna say something, but I just feel like I was blessed to be a part of his life, to be a little bit of that, and that was part of Ouaa University too, so.
Hello, I'm Kevin Honeycutt, and I wish I could be there tonight. I'm very, very honored to be receiving this recognition from Ouaa University. A little bit about me. You know, I graduated from high school in 1985 from Pomona High School. I was the first Honeycutt in living memory to graduate high school, to walk across the stage and get a diploma. And I went on to go to Ouaa University. The story is a long one, and I won't bore you with all of those details. I'll just tell you this. When I went to Ottawa, my life started. I met my wife, Michelle. Her and I have been married 31 years. And I met her the first week I was at Ottawa. I was a dead duck. We were in a play together. So many things came together for me at Ottawa. I met a lot of great people, you know. And the spirit there on campus was amazing. You had the opportunity to become, right? To become who you were meant to be. I had a lot of demons. I had a lot of things that happened to me. I'd been in foster homes. I'd gone to school in over 20 states growing up, and not because my dad was in the military, but because he was a criminal, an outlaw, and a dangerous man. So by some grace, I end up there, right? And all I can say is that my life began there. I am grateful for what I got from Ottawa, and I am honored to receive this award, and just wish I could be there among you all. Just know that I honor that place. I hold it in my heart as sacred, and I will always be grateful for all the things that Ottawa did for me. Thanks.
Thank you again, Owen. The recent Alumni Award was established in 2013 and is designed to recognize recent graduates who've attained a significant level of achievement and potential for accomplishment in the early years following graduation. The recipient will be a graduate of the university within the last 10 years, have met significant challenges in pursuit of professional goals, given service to community, church, and others, or shown significant alumni participation and support. This year's recipient is Ms. Chanel Watkins. Chanel, your citation reads as follows. For earning your degree at Ottawa University, for earning your master's in information management with certification in cybersecurity from Washington University of St. Louis, for your work with Boeing Company as an IT functional analyst, security compliance specialist, and information protection specialist, and for your work as an information security operations analyst for MasterCard. For your community leadership with Queen of Resilience Nonprofit, Urban League of St. Louis, Habitat for Humanity, Near Southside Coalition, Ronald McDonald House, Crisis Nursery, St. Louis Food Bank, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and as an education program volunteer for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It is for these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association, on this 28th day of October 2022, proudly award you, Chanel Watkins, with the 2022 Recent Alumni Award. Congratulations.
Greetings, faculty, president, chancellor, family, and friends. I'm honored and humbled to be here tonight. I thank my family for being here alongside me. And thank you to the OU Alumni Association awarding me this opportunity. Growing up, my family has always instilled in me the importance of giving back, keeping connections open, and looking out for others, which builds character and humanity among all. It's truly about leaving an impact and purpose that is greater than myself for those who may not look like me or talk like me in this journey we call life. I'm patiently waiting for the day my future children ask me all about OU, and don't I have stories to tell? You got a story, you got a story. Thank you, Ottawa, for preparing me to face my field where I'm the minority. Coming from a small private institution with diverse backgrounds in a male-dominated field, I'm a proud female woman of color climbing the ladder. Doors have been opened because of my education, skills, and experiences that OU has set forth for me. In closing, I'll leave you with the quote my late mother stood by. Your outlook is your outcome. So I challenge you today to make a difference in the world that awaits you every day you have the opportunity. Many blessings, and thank you all.
Thank you, Chanel, for packing a lot in a short speech. Truly. Tonight we have the privilege to posthumously honor an extraordinary woman. Dr. Marcel Lee served Ottawa University from 1970 through 1975 as a professor of psychology and counseling, as well as chairperson of the education and psychology departments. In 1990, she joined the Board of Trustees, and upon her retirement, she was granted the status of life member of the board. After leaving OU, she served the University of Wisconsin-Madison, retiring as the Assistant Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. During her time there, she established the Chancellor Scholars Program and the Powers Knapp Scholars Program. These are merit-based scholarship programs created to open the doors of higher education for many talented minority students. Dr. Lee received many awards for her community leadership and was a member of the First Baptist Church of Madison. She stood as a giant in vision, education, and service. Her over 50 years of work as an academician and higher education administrator left an impact upon thousands of people. Tonight, we announce the establishment of the Dr. Marcel Lee University Teaching Award. This award will recognize an Ottawa University faculty member who demonstrates excellence in teaching, a strong commitment to advising and mentoring others, and engages in service to all students, the entire institution, and the community as a whole. At this time, Jerry Streets will come forward to share some personal reflection about Dr. Lee. Jerry, we welcome you to the stage.
Well, friends, I'm reminded that in order for remarks to be memorable, they need not be everlasting. I, along with Dr. Maurice Bryan and Larry Payton, who is here, can tell you many stories about Dr. Merciel Johnson Lee. You see her profile in the program. You've heard the comments given earlier. I was privileged to get to know her as a student, and because of that, I double majored in sociology and psychology, and I was her assistant in one of her classes. It was a class that was to discuss the impact of being shocked. And she had a starter gun and had me in the back of the classroom, and at a certain signal, I was to shoot the starter gun when all the class would go, so she's lecturing, and I thought I heard the signal. Needless to say, not only was the class shocked, but so was she. It was my honor to officiate her son's wedding, and at her passing, to offer remarks at her memorial service. She was, as you heard, a strong person, brilliant, a friend, a sincere friend of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., an outstanding educator, teacher. She inspired me and the rest of my colleagues. And years later, she was also an inspiration for my daughter, who is a graduate of OU, class of '98. And that was the last time that I was privileged to be on this campus. It has been said that there is more grace in God than there is sin in us. Merciel lived that. There was so much grace in her that she was able to work with all kinds of people, to overlook their shortcomings, to be very forgiving, an embodiment of grace. You may find this hard to believe, but for 46 years, Merciel and I had conversations at midnight almost once a month. And when she passed away, I framed my eulogy with the title, Conversations with Merciel at Midnight. We talked about everything, about life, about academia, about OU, to which she was deeply committed, and how she wanted to be remembered in the ways that have been reflected here today. The hardest conversation that we had 2 years before her death was when she called to tell me about her terminal illness, and then proceeded to direct me as to what I was to say and do at her memorial service. And for 2 years, we would review that plan. And when she would call or I would call her, I said, well, you know, it's been a year. Well, you never know. But thank God for those 2 years after that announcement came from her. It reminded me so much of that book, Tuesdays with Maury, those 2 years of conversation as she made her preparation for her leave taking. And so thank you for creating this special way of recognizing her. And I'm sure that as the future unfolds, there will be people amongst this faculty like a Dr. Merciel Lee that students will have conversations with at midnight for 46 years.
We want to congratulate all of our Alumni Association honorees this evening. They've each represented OU well and around the world. How about another round of applause for all of them this evening, please? Before we leave, also, we want to pause and thank once again American Dining Creations for our meal tonight, the University Advancement Team, as I mentioned, and all the alumni for making this such a memorable evening. Again, the centerpieces, the order from the greenhouse here tonight, those are available for purchase. Courtney, I think, talk to Courtney afterwards, or, yeah, talk to Courtney. She knows how to take care of that. Again, we want to thank you all for attending tonight's Alumni Award event. We hope you'll join us for all of the homecoming events going on this weekend. It's fantastic to have you all back. This is what it's all about. It's a family. 50 years, 60 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. We're all OU family, so it's great to be in the same room with family again. So look forward to seeing you again next year. Have a great weekend, and thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it.